a little bit later, and for those who might not be able to join live. Before we start, I just want to mention some housekeeping rules. Firstly, I will kindly request you to keep your microphones muted at all times. This is to allow the presenters to run the presentation smoothly. Kindly note that at the end of the session, we'll have a 20 to 30 minutes Q&A session. So if you have any questions during the presentation, feel free to send in through the chat box. Laura and I will be collecting the questions, or just at the end, please raise your hand and we'll give you the floor. If also by any reason you miss connection, don't worry. Feel free to log out, log in again, connect your microphone. And in case you miss something, the webinar is being recorded and will be shared with you after the session. Moving ahead, let me just start with a small introduction of SheTrades Invest and the logic of this e-coffee session. SheTrades Invest is fully committed to supporting fruitful relationships between capital providers and women entrepreneurs. And so this e-coffee with financial institutions are intended to create a space where our partners can share available financial products and services with SheTrades members. And SheTrades members can get informed on how to access the services and unlock finances for your business. Just a quick introduction to the team. We have Anna Marie, who is Project Partnerships Manager. My name is Lisbeth Becerra. I'm the SheTrades Invest Coordinator. And we also have Laura Bolivar, who is SheTrades Invest Support. And today we have great pleasure of having SBM Bank representative and as well Irene. I'm going to start a little bit introduction of SBM Bank Group, which is a financial group with presence in Mauritius, India, Madagascar, Kenya, and Seychelles. And besides its domestic operations in its various geographies, the group aims to facilitate the cross-border financing opportunities for trade and investment along the Asia-Africa corridor. We have the great pleasure of having Margaret Kimani here with us, which is a senior manager and head of women and youth banking. Margaret is a Kenyan-born author, investment banker, mentor, transformational leader, and philanthropist. She holds a BA in Maths and Economics from Kenyatta University. She also has a cum laude honors BSc in Finance from Northeastern University, Boston, and a Master of Science MBA on Financial and Economics from Boston University, Massachusetts. She has worked as an investment banker at the State Street Bank of Boston for over 10 years and is currently the head of women and youth banking and double up as well as change champion as a diversity, equality, and inclusion ambassador at State Bank of Mauritius and Kenya. She's been instrumental in driving change in the Kenyan banking industry since 2011. And we have been working very closely with SBM Bank for some of the projects we're having, for example, SheTrades Commonwealth. We are truly honored to having you here, Margaret. And we also have here with us today, Irene Mumo, who is a proprietor of True Ways Enterprise Ltd. She exports honey, has been part of the project SheTrades Commonwealth that we recently closed, and she'll be sharing some of her experience with SBM Bank. I don't want to monopolize the time, and let's kick off. I'll give the floor to Margaret. She's going to tell us a little bit more about SBM Bank and financial offering for women. Thank you so much, Margaret. The floor is all yours.
All right, thank you so much. I like calling you Ida, but I know most people call you Liz. So thank you so much. It's such an honor to be here. And even to get this, it's a privilege every time I'm interacting with you guys. And especially when you're interacting with different people from different countries and especially women, it's always a pleasure. And I want to say before I start that it's been such an honor working with ITC, International Trade Center, SheTrades. I think I've worked with all of you guys now, and it's such a pleasure being able to impact, not just work with you, but also see the impact. So like you said, I'm Margaret Kimani, very passionate about what I do. I believe that in everything I do, it's my way of serving. It's also aligned to my purpose of being able to transform and impact some of course, there are challenges. There's always a challenge that we have to solve. So I'll go straight to the presentation. My colleagues might have joined me. I'm not able to see, but I want to just salute the rest of the team from my SBM Bank. We do have a presence, as you know, we do have a presence in Mauritius and India and also Madagascar. And I'm hoping as we go along, some of my colleagues from those countries will be able to join. As you know, of course, whatever we are doing in Kenya, we are trying to replicate in other countries where we are located, and it's always a win-win. So first of all, I think you've probably introduced a bit, Liz, but it's important for me to talk about who SBM is. We are actually an employer of choice for women of influence. And this influence actually also translates into the marketplace. So we believe that for us, we are the international bank of choice for women, whether they are women in families, women in business, and of course, even for us as employees of the bank, we want to make a mark. So SBM is obviously, Liz, perhaps you can go to the next slide, which explains a bit about who we are. All right, there you go. So this picture on the left, it's not a Photoshop. It's exactly where we are. It's where we are located in our head office, which is Mauritius. We are a state-owned bank, and as you can see here, we were established. State Bank of Mauritius was established way before some of us were born in 1973, and it's obviously a strong franchise back in Mauritius. We are the third largest, one of the largest listed company in the stock exchange of Mauritius. So that should speak about stability and the stability of the bank. And also we do have quite a significant asset size, as you can see. And also for us, I think most people actually who don't know about SBM, SBM is known for wealth management. We offer a lot of banking, traditional banking services we offer, but we are known obviously for non-banking financial services and non-financial investment, advisory. We are also, by the way, we are also privileged to be one amongst the top 100 banks in the world, not just here in Kenya or Mauritius. This slide, the picture on the right is self-explanatory. For those of you who are not logging in from Kenya, in Kenya, we do have 47 branches in, SBM. And for us, we serve our customers. Most people might not know, but in Kenya, we do have different regions, different, cities, and we are able to serve our customers, not just in the city, but as you can see here, we have a presence in the region. Even in the rural areas, we do have very good presence. You can go to the next slide. Okay, excellent. This picture here, I think, Liz, probably we missed you in the photo, but this is the work we've started over the years. And actually for us, everything we do is about partnership. As a bank, as you know, we are, traditionally all banks. I mean, our core business is obviously banking, financial services, but without partnership, by the way, we would not be able to achieve half of what we do. So partnership for us is very key. Liz, this is your colleague. He had actually come before Corona. We used to actually have an exchange program where you guys would go with us to the rural areas, different sectors, and be able to impact women. And what actually attracted us to partner with the International Trade Center is a no-brainer. We love your hashtag, trade, not aid. And personally, I believe that part of the reason I came back home is obviously to impact. Women do not need aid. To be honest, if women are impacted and are supported well, they probably would never need aid. So we really appreciate being able to work with you guys. You can continue to the next slide. All right, so here, I just wanted to paint a picture of who we are. My presentation, by the way, I'm a pictorial person. I think I'm artistic or autistic, both. I love telling a story that actually speaks for itself. So here, I just wanted to summarize for you guys, for many people who might not be familiar with SBM, what our vision is. So like I mentioned at the beginning, our vision is obviously to be the leading bank and brand of choice for women of influence, yeah? And already we are becoming the aspiration brand for women, and that we can never take for granted. It takes a lot of team effort. It's a lot of collaboration and a lot of being able to truly impact customers. Yeah. So in everything we do, at the end of the day, we check to see that whatever we are doing has a direct impact to our customers. And our value proposition, this year we've been so blessed. I can't even tell you guys. So this year what we did is we've been doing for the last 3 years because as you know, SBM Bank moved into Kenya in so we are 3 years old in Kenya, basically. But of course, our bigger franchise, our group is as old as 50 plus years back in Mauritius. But so when we moved to Kenya, we of course, we've been engaging with customers, our own customers. And Kenya, by the way, for many of you who might not know, Kenya is our regional hub. So as we move to other markets in the region, obviously Kenya becomes our main hub, yeah? But for us, what we've done this year, what has been so exciting is that we've packaged our solution and we've branded it as For Her, because everything we do as a bank is aligned to the For Her proposition. And in our For Her, we've broken it down into 3 pillars, which is obviously the For Her business. We are looking out obviously for the women in business. And majority of you guys who are logged in today, is a privilege to know that most of you own businesses. Yeah, I know we have many of our customers. Irene, is always a pleasure to work with you. And many of our customers tell the story and they are direct beneficiaries. Then the other part of the For Her solution that we have is obviously professionals. I'll give you an example. So I'm one of those professionals. I'm able to enjoy some of the benefits that SBM Women Banking offers. And obviously, there's also, you'll find that in the bank, we have lawyers who are our customers. These are professionals. They need a different kind of a service, yeah? Both financial and non-financial. Then the third part of our value proposition, which we call For Her, so it's SBM For Her, is the family. You'll find that globally, and I know the people logged in from other countries, you'll agree, most of the women, at the end of the day, even if you're a single person, even if you're younger, maybe you do not have a family, there's always the family also. There are other solutions of the family that you can enjoy from the bank. So that is what we've done. Move to the next slide. I want to make sure that I leave space for questions and make it very interactive. And now under the value, the 3 pillars that I've spoken about For Her business, profession, and family, what we've done is, I think my slides have moved a little off, but it's okay. What we've done is that under, for example, For Her business, we've made sure that, you know, we're not your ordinary bank, yeah? What we've done as a bank is that we've gone out of our way to make sure that we're offering what the customers want. And this, by the way, some of these solutions that we've come up with, we do not just sit down and assume that customers want them. We did a research and engaged with a lot of our customers in the region, not just here in Nairobi, in the Pwani area, in the North Rift area. We also have the other part of like Kisumu, Eldoret, those areas. We've engaged with all our customers through the branch networks. And customers, our women customers kept telling us, you know what, we have a brilliant company. You'll find that some of our customers, many of our customers have very brilliant registered companies, but they're not getting opportunities. And one of their biggest headache that they requested us to champion is obviously supplier diversity. And I'm very happy to report that we've been very lucky and we've been so blessed. Many of these corporate, big multinational companies have been able to offer, opportunities for our women. And how do we do that? For us, obviously, we literally lobby. I was laughing. You see this company here, the KPC on the one I'm pointing at. This is one of the oil company. It's a pipeline company. It's in Kenya, we call it, it's a parastatal. So obviously owned by the Kenyan government. But you'll be surprised that at some point, whenever I go there, even our customers, I know some of the customers who are logged in, I literally close my office and take them there. And at the end of the day, they are assisted on how to apply for these opportunities. Another good example of some of our partners is Safaricom. This is a telco. It's one of the largest telco here in Kenya. We've been able to partner with they have this initiative called Women in Business. As you know, for a telco, most of the telco infrastructure a lot of times you find that most of the people who get those opportunities are men-owned businesses. And what we've been able to do with Safaricom and Kamosat, who does the fiber layering for them, is obviously to work with them, go there and lobby, and actually even some of the companies have had to change procedures. Safaricom is one of them. The list goes on and on and on. Coca-Cola 5 by 20. Actually, last year we were so lucky during Corona period, after the pandemic, Coca-Cola here in Kenya, we were able as a bank to influence, and they were able to to sign as women empowerment principles under the UN Women. And right now we are working on a project where, we continue to support women who are in businesses in their supply chain. The list goes on and on and on. You can see this company here, Tactive. What they do is they do BPO, business process outsourcing. And with them, they are able to assist our customers. I'll give you an example. So during the pandemic, most of the women-owned businesses, most of us are working from home, right? And so because in Kenya, I know other countries were also affected, our kids were home. So you can imagine a woman who might not necessarily need an office, they are able to get services, outsource some of the services like running around, even taxation, small little, tasks that you don't necessarily need to hire someone full-time. You can go to the next slide. So supply diversity, like I said, even for us as a bank, we've had to open up our supply, our supply opportunities. And as a bank, I'm very happy to report that the bank was actually last year, we had to amend some of our procedures, procurement procedures, to make sure that we are accommodating women. Yeah. And I want to thank ITC because you've really walked the journey with us. Currently we are even, we are getting a consultant from you guys, thanks to this partnership, who will be able to even, review our processes and actually guide us to make sure that we enhance our supplier diversity. Another thing that the bank did, which is amazing, is that last year, in support of our women-owned businesses, and let me tell you guys, I like saying this, and it's not cliche anymore. When you support the women, whatever procedures as a bank we actually amend, it also benefits the men. So when you empower the woman, it's no longer a cliche. When you empower the women, you're actually opening other doors for other customers, including men, because we want to promote each for equal. So what happened last year is that our finance department, our chief financial operating officer, and of course the board, approved that as a bank, we had to revise our procurement payment cycle. So whenever you procure now with the bank, before we were paying within 90 days. And can you imagine last year, it's a miracle on its own. We were able to revise that to 30 days. So as long as you supply, assume you're a cleaner or you supplied laptops or system, hardware, within 30 days, we are able to pay our suppliers. So the other pillar for us, and I think today's this session actually speaks a lot about this pillar. And one of actually our original idea of partnering with the International Trade Center was obviously access to global markets. Yeah, you realize, I know the women in Kenya, maybe for other countries, the dynamics might be different, but here in Kenya, you find that, I'll give you an example. So a woman who is, manufacturing certain goods, they don't always get access to markets. It's not just about suppliers. I'll give you an example. So avocado farmers, for example, here in Kenya, sometimes these farmers, they grow, they work so hard, but at the end, when it comes to the harvest time, they're not able to, either they might not have the muscle to go to certain offices or, supermarkets and get the tenders or contracts, to supply. So for us, ITC came in handy. And so for the women in business, access to global markets is a big deal. I thank God because now we are not only talking about global markets, African trade is here with us. Thank God to the collaboration of all the African countries, but that is also an opportunity. And I always say, one of the reasons why the bank, every year we do a pop-up market for our women in business, which is coming up, you guys should be looking out. Before Corona, we used to do it every September. The reason we do that is because if you cannot supply to the global markets, if you're not compliant for the local market. So for us, we invest a lot to make sure that we are training our women, we are equipping them, we get them ready. Another thing that as a bank, what is so unique about us is that we've been able to bring in other companies who are able to offer contract farming. As you know, we do have a big focus. Food security is a global agenda. It's not just, I mean, we gotta eat, all of us gotta eat. And especially the women at the end of the day, who is the household, who controls that eating part. The women, obviously, traditionally, we are known to, take care of that household chore. But so for us, we've been able to obviously, because we focus in the women in agribusiness, which is a very big deal, especially in Kenya, you find that majority of the workers, even in the farms, in the farming agribusiness industry, they are women. So for us, we've been able to work with the likes of Bitco. We've been able to influence them to make sure that they are offering contract farming. For Bitco specifically, they buy bamboo. Bamboo, they use it for, to burn the oil when they are manufacturing oil. And they also buy soya beans. Another thing that, for this year and last year, we've been actually talking to East African breweries. And I'm very happy to report, I don't know if anyone is logged in from the Narok side. So East African breweries happens to be one of the largest brewers. So they brew alcohol, beer, to be specific, here in Kenya. And actually, they are also UN women signatories. So they really, they believe in promoting gender equality in everything they do. Actually, their leader right now is a woman, which is a very big deal, especially coming from the African setting. And for them, what they are doing is in Narok area, they'll be buying sorghum and barley from our farmers. So regardless of whether the market, whether the weather goes haywire, or whether the price of barley and sorghum goes down, these farmers will have a security. And what I love about East African breweries is that they also train these farmers to make sure that they are farming well, they're using the right seeds and whatnot. Yeah. You can go to the next. These are other partners we work with. I know, Liz, you had asked me about, specific what access to finance solutions we are offering. And I put this slide just to make sure that, it's known. Sometimes one of the challenges, allow me to talk about this even as I discuss this slide. One of the challenges I find, and I'm not sure if it's traditionally or how our culture is, is set up. You find that a lot of, and I know Irene will attest to this because I talk to her a lot, and a lot of our customers, we have a relationship with all our customers. We love them all. It's not just about banking. And I know we talk about, I keep talking about this challenge. Sometimes women do not know that these opportunities exist. And for me, I always challenge myself, and that's why we do a lot of sessions with women. It's important that women, for example, 2021, this is actually ongoing in 2021, but we started in Corona, during coronavirus in March. In March, the bank was able to be so kind and very agile. The bank was able to open up unsecured working capital loans for our customers. And these working capital loans, by the way, I'll tell you for free that this was targeting the women entrepreneurs. I don't know that part of the world, Liz, you're in, but this part of the Sahara, you find that you'll find very few women. If you did a sample of 1 to 10, you'll find maybe a third of those women will have collateral. So as a bank, we've been able to open that up. And for right now, we've capped it to 5 million shillings. So you can imagine, even for a woman who is doing business, they're able to come to us, as long as, of course, they have a registered business. I won't go into all the requirements, but of course, they have to have a CR12, or at least they have to have some audited financial statements. And for those ones who are new, at least they can show us a CR12. The list is there. I mean, at least for us, when we are lending to a company, honestly, let's be honest, we cannot just lend to individuals. And for individuals, there are certain loans, for example, personal loans. If a person was trading under their name, there are certain other loans, which are traditional loans that we offer. So I think it's very important that women, whenever there are opportunities for you to apply, please take advantage of it. And this is one of a kind. I can tell you for sure, because most banks in Kenya are not offering unsecured lending to businesses. So go to the next slide. As I wind up, so One of the things I think why we stand out as a bank is that we've been able to, since 2018, so SBM moved into Kenya. This whole partnership moved into Kenya in 2018. That's when we were given the license to operate. This actually August 2018. And believe it or not, we have a new CEO. This gentleman here is our CEO. He's called Mir. And one of the things that I'm so grateful that within 2 months of operating in Kenya as SBM Bank Kenya, the bank board and even back in Mauritius, the group was so supportive for us to sign up into women, becoming women empowerment champions. And what do I mean by that? We had to become signatories to the UN. You know, the UN has certain principles that you have to follow if you really, truly want to support women. And as you can see, we do, at least at the moment, we do have one female. Many of you know this lady, the lady here on my left. She's called Flora Mutahi. She happens to be our one and only female board member. And as you can tell, for us, because we sit in the head office, we are a center of excellence that supports the whole country, all our branches in the other regions. You can move to the next slide. You can see, I think our CEO was very keen on saying that one of the reasons why as a bank is very important for us to support women is obviously the fact that when you support women, I'll read the set of principles. This is directly, this charter here, any company, I'll give you an example. In Kenya, we have 40 signatories. Can you imagine? All these millions of companies we have in Kenya, only 40 companies have signed into becoming UN women signatories. It should be a concern to you, all of you guys, but at least the ones that sign into these principles, there are certain principles to follow. And you'll allow me to read them aloud because they are so aligned to the partnership we have even with you guys at ITC. The first one is that as a bank, we obviously have to establish, and we've already done that, we do have a high-level corporate leadership for gender equality. And allow me to point out, I'm not sure if my boss has been able to join in, but you can imagine in the bank, we have about 5 vice presidents who are women. And that is the first principles there. And for us as a bank, why our CEO and why we were very supportive of this becoming signatories is because you cannot empower women in the marketplace, meaning that business women, you cannot empower business women if you're not actually following the 7 principles. The second principle, as you can see here, is treating all women and men, not just women, treating men and women fairly at work, respect human rights, not discriminating anyone. I'll give you an example. So in our branch, I sit at the head office, but when you go to our branch, I know most of you are customers. Do we give a teller, if you have a teller man and a teller woman, do you give certain privileges to the women and deny the men? That is something that we must follow, and it's something we are very passionate about. The third one, as you can see here, is obviously ensuring that we have health, safety, and well-being of our women, not just within the bank, but also even customers we serve. I'll give you a hilarious example. So during coronavirus, when the pandemic was announced first in Kenya, there was a big scare, as you can imagine, yeah? I remember banks cannot close, we are essential services. And what did the bank have to do? We took all our marketing budget. So this is April last year. The bank decided, you know what? Obviously we have to protect not just our female, not just our workers, meaning the tellers and the people who serve in the branches, but we had to also offer masks and PPEs to the customers. Yeah, and I know many of you customers who are logged in, you can attest to that, because you cannot just protect our workers, you also have to protect the customers. So the fourth pillar, I'll go very quickly, is something we do every single week, educating our customers, training, and obviously professional development for our women. Not just within the bank. I don't know if my colleague Abdia is actually, every Thursday we usually have sessions with some of our partners to make sure that financial literacy, we continue to educate our customers to make sure that they are taking advantage of some of the solutions we offer. Fifth, I think I'd already mentioned about implementing enterprise development and supply chain and marketing practices like the supplier diversity that empower women. And the last one here is obviously promoting equality through community initiatives and advocating. I feel that as much as I'm a former Wall Street expert, I think my heart is in advocacy. Yeah, I'm so passionate about, because sometimes the people you advocate for, and I'll give you an example, the 5 million loan, somebody had to advocate, right? Somebody had to advocate and convince our credit, our credit guys, look here, our customers might not always have collateral. So advocacy for us plays a very big role. And the last one, of course, we report every quarter. You can move to the next slide. And allow me to mention, the reason I'm insisting on those principles is because everything we do as a bank, you'll see in a minute, I like the pictures to talk for themselves about the work we've done. But you'll see that everything we do as a bank, whether it's impacting the community, whether it's impacting our staff, whether it's impacting the women in business, has to follow those 7 principles. So here I wanted, and I think I'd already alluded to this point, that everything we do as a bank, and let me tell you, I remember the late Madam Zora Baraka, one of our partners and customer, she always reminds us that she used to remind that if you want to walk faster, I know it's a quote from an African proverb, that if you want to walk fast, just walk alone. I mean, it's all right, just walk alone. But if you want to walk faster, you've got to walk with others. So for us as a bank, I will not go into all the partners, but as you can see, we do have very strong partners. And we cluster them in different categories. So we have the financial partners, we have knowledge and networking partners, and brand building partners. You can move to the next slide. I think I'm done actually with the presentation. I will go through the slides, some of the work we've done. And here, as you can see, I think I mentioned here, this is bamboo tree, yeah? Here, what we were doing is, this is Bitco Africa. As you can see, we also don't just plant these trees ourselves. We need to impact the generations to come behind after us. So we were able to lobby. The First Lady obviously joined us. Our First Lady, the First Lady of, she happens to be called Margaret Kenyatta, like she's my namesake. But why did we have to lobby all these guys to join us? Because if you do not involve the students, you can plant out the bamboo tree, but the students won't know. So really, you're not impacting the future generation. And Bitco actually, like I mentioned at the beginning, Bitco have been also lobbying. They've been going to different counties and creating awareness of the need to plant more trees. Because as you know, guys, we need these water catchment areas. Go to the next slide. I'll move very quickly because I need to give Irene time to just talk about her journey with us. I like putting the dates here because numbers don't lie. This is September 2019. We were awarded the first of its kind Financial Inclusion Award, and we were awarded as the most supportive bank for women. As you can see, in everything we do here, there's a principle that we follow. So this one is obviously a lot of advocacy we do. Go to the next. Here, I spoke about pop-up market. 2020, we did not do the pop-up market, of course, because of coronavirus. But every year in September, September is a very happy month for me. It's also my birthday month. But what is so exciting about September, I think in the North America, we say it's summer. But here in this side of Kenya, of course, we have a very good weather all year long. But we chose September because we usually prepare our women to make sure that they can participate in trade fairs. So the pop-up market, guys, you cannot afford to miss the pop-up market. And what we do in the pop-up market for us is that we try to bring companies, corporates that can buy from our women. Like in this session, what we did is we brought Safaricom. Safaricom was able to tell women what they look for, what they are procuring from them. Also, they were able to share what are the opportunities they have as a, telecom, and so many other companies, Classic Moldings, Bitco, Hiva Fund, and the list goes on and on and on and on. So these are not things we come here and talk to you about. These are things we've been doing for our customers. If you're not our customer, obviously you've missed a lot, but there's always a first, yeah? There's always a first time, and you're most welcome. So move to the next. All right, so here, this is one of my favorite slides. This lady next to me here, this happens to be Irene. I think you guys can see her. The very last lady on your right, but on my left. So this was, I told you guys, we usually do the pop-up market to make sure that women come to our head office or wherever, like this time we might be doing it in a different city, God willing. But why we do the pop-up market is to make sure, because the SheTrades Global is usually in November, we usually make sure that we can bring women, they can bring their merchandise, we can critique them. They can also do like a, like a trial, how do you call it, trial pop-up market, whereby they check their merchandise, they are able to also be trained on how to, to expose them to the international markets. So this is SheTrades Global. This was at the African Union, at the heart of the African Union in Addis. As you can see, some of these women are coming, these two ladies are coming from Machakos County, and some of these ladies came from Bungoma. Actually, the first lady of Bungoma County happened to have joined us. And as you can see, we came with the whole, OWIT was also with us, AWEP was with us. And this is what when I talk about access to global markets, it's exactly what as a bank we do. And for me, I think Irene will speak at the end, but for me, let me tell you, there's no other reason why as a bank we exist. We do not exist for ourselves, we exist for our customers. And guess what? As we're impacting our women in business, especially because these are the backbone of our economy, they are able to also impact. There's obviously a ripple effect to the economy. So some of these things we do, especially access to market, thanks to ITC, this is the heart of why as a bank we exist and why we are also very different from other banks. Continue. All right, yes, we are running out of time. I spoke about education every Thursday before Corona. As you can see, this is January of 2020. Every Thursday, we bring our entrepreneurs together just for 1 hour. We used to do 2 hours, but this is what we do. We bring them together, we train them. They also network with each other. I'll give you an example. Irene might find that she produces honey, but I might also be producing honey. So why not collaborate? So these are the kind of things. We do financial literacy for our women. We also support them. They can ask, we have SME hubs where they can also have one-on-one with us. Continue, maybe you skim quickly through. This is, this I think is self-explanatory. Please stop there and allow me to talk about. So when COVID hit, as you can see, we had to actually almost cut all our marketing budget, or, certain budgets, we had to cut them. This is our CEO, as you can see. We had to take care of kids in the slums, those orphans, feeding them. There are orphanages where there are orphans who have no parents. And we worked very closely with many counties to make sure that they had PPEs. So continue very quickly. I think I have 2 minutes. These are the founders' conversation. As you can see, we don't just pick sessions to do sessions for the sake of doing sessions. We actually, as you can see, like here, one of the conversations we were having in the month of May, we were asking women, are you ready? So they had to evaluate their businesses and check if they are ready for the new normal with all the disruptions that were happening. So continue maybe very quickly. I'll skim through. I think some of these slides are very self-explanatory. We do have a show that airs every Thursday. I think people even in other countries, you can watch it. It's on YouTube. We call it What Women Want. And again, it's actually hosted by one of our customers, who is Pinky, the lady here. And the topics we discuss, as you can see, it's early childhood, mental health. We discuss basically almost everything. Yeah, and we call these women of influence who have been able to make it in their businesses to just speak and mentor our women. So continue. Father's Day, this is very important for me to mention. Remember, you guys, I told you we are UN Women signatories as a bank. Actually, I think we are the most vibrant bank there. The rest are Safaricom, East African Breweries. But for us, the reason, for example, you'll find in my calendar of events, Father's Day is there because you cannot empower women without empowering men. And it also speaks to our diversity, equality, and inclusion. Yeah, so continue. This, as you can see, you guys might be thinking, oh, you do a lot for your customers. What about your staff? You know, you can, you know, a charity always begins at home. So for us, we actually work very closely with other like-minded leaders in the, you know, in the industry. One of our biggest partner is Kenya Bankers Association. We are members of that association as a bank. And as you can see, we've been able to also continually mentor, coach our staff to make sure that our women are also moving up the ranks. Yeah. So continue. This, I think you can see with you guys, ITC, we were able to train women. We do have a crisis management toolkit that was developed by you guys at SheTrades, and we are forever grateful. And many of our women customers, I'll give you an example. Women in tourism have been thoroughly affected. Yeah, they are our customers as well. So with this toolkit, customers, and it's actually also on our website, they are able to use it. It's a self-explanatory, you know, email. Our toolkit, very, very simple to use, and they're able to re-strategize and change some of their strategies in the business, at least. So maybe I have 1 more minute, and then I'll give it to Irene. Just quickly skim through the slides. All right. The women in Kenya, as I wind up, you know, there's a new regulations, especially on taxation. So we've been doing these sessions with even the regulator, you know, to make sure that at least these women are also not caught up, you know, on the wrong side of the law. So continue. We do a lot of work in the community, as you can see. And this is another favorite of mine. Go back 1 slide. You guys at ITC, this was a first of its kind, and I want to congratulate you guys at International Trade Center. We were able to do an online, you know, for a long time, we've been doing physical expos, but for the first time, you can see me and my colleague here, Abdia. Thanks to ITC, we were able to do the digital forum for SheTrades in February, and it was such a success. So continue. I think 2 more slides and I'm done. This is something the women who are not banking with us, you have no idea what you're missing. So as a bank, like I told you, when you're championing something and you mean it and you actually mean to impact. So what we did with the help of our marketing department, we decided that on Saturday on all our social media platforms, we will be picking our customers' merchandise. Customers send us their profile and we are able to send a blast to all our networks. So we call it Merchants of Hope campaign. So every Saturday we showcase businesses of our customers. If somebody is selling ice cream, if somebody probably has a restaurant, or if somebody is doing jewelry, we are able to showcase them and they get a lot of sales. Many of our customers, in fact, there's a lady who is in our village market branch, and this year alone, she was telling us, please do not give us any more referrals because we are fully booked for the year. She does landscaping. And it's amazing. So we then got that the impact this has on their businesses, on their sales, is a huge impact. Continue. I think 1 more slide and I'm done. Just continue. These are some of the things we discuss with our partners. This is a favorite of mine. These are women. We have an association called Kenya Association of Women in Tourism. And they believe in preserving the environment. And we were able to join them with you guys at ITC, to preserve our environment by planting trees on their 10th year anniversary. Continue. Yeah, and of course, Crown Trust is also one of our very esteemed customer. And we've been championing something. In fact, right now, one of our biggest public University of Nairobi, has started a unit which they're calling it Women Economic. It's like a hub that will be talking about women and gender issues and all these things. So we then got for, Daisy Amdani and her team. So continue. Coming to the end, you guys, know that International Women's Day just passed, Q1 in March. And for us as a bank, we decided to, many of the front, health workers are women. So we decided to honor our customers. We bank many of these doctors. We bank many of these women in healthcare. And it was amazing. You could see the tears in their eyes. The last one, I think I'm done. You can go to the end.
I think we have 3 more slides, but I don't know
Okay.
if you would like to skim through and give the floor to Irene.
Yeah, sure.
So
No,
to also
just
give some time. Yes.
It's all right.
Just
I think this is very important for me to mention because of all the work we do. It's not just about offering financial services. We've been so blessed and so honored and so humbled. We were voted in July. It came to me as a shocker because I do what I do out of a passionate to impact, with our teams. And, we were so humbled to be voted the best in women banking by the World Economic Magazine. And of course, it's because of the work we do with the counties, the first ladies, the women organizations in different parts of the country. And that will be my last slide. So allow me to end there so that I can give Irene, a chance. Irene, I don't know if you can hear me. And for you who guys, I did take some of the prints screenshots to showcase what some of the products Irene does. So over to you, Irene. You can hear me?
Thank you, Margaret. Thank you so. Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes. Over to you.
Thank you. Margaret, thank you so much for this opportunity just to say a little bit about what SBM has been to me. My name is Irene Mumo. I come from Kenya. I am in one of the counties, Makueni. For a long time, I was in Nairobi until COVID happened, and that also brought in a few changes to my location. I've been a member of the SBM Bank for many, many years, starting from where they were before, and they've been a very, very supportive program. And then, of course, I've seen the changes happening, especially around the women and the focus on women. So True Enterprises we are in agriculture, agribusiness. We started off in honey, and now we have moved one step backwards in terms of our integration and gone into farming. And I'll speak about that a bit more. SBM has been an amazing bank. One of the things, and I'll speak those for those who are not in Kenya, it has very many privileges and very many products. And one for me is the fact that they have what they call express banking. I don't think Maggie talked about that one because it's one of those banks that is open almost from Monday to Sunday, and they open at 10 o'clock, and then very, very strategic locations. I think about 2 or 3 of them in Nairobi are in gas stations, petrol stations, and you can go there, and up to 6 o'clock in the evening, you can actually get served to bank in your money and even withdraw. And that is one of the things why I like SBM, because if I make a sale, that was before where we could actually go to the bank. We could actually, now we have mobile banking, but it was so easy. You could deposit your money anytime. You can pick it if you have a check and get it and continue on with your business. And because of that, the other advantage about SBM is that they are so easy to go to. I think twice in my interaction with them, twice, or 3 times, I've been able to get bank opinions, which are very, very critical, especially when you're doing proposals for business. And I think also just working around some of what's the bank opinion? A bank opinion is when the bank gives you their recommendation for you to actually get support from any institution, whether it's a proposal you're doing or even a tender document. And I know one where I made a provision for, rather we were making a proposal to Rwanda, and we were able to get a bank opinion on how our bank as the bank was and how we operate actually with our bank, the bank. And the other thing that was amazing is that they have been able to give me LPO financing so that, can you hear me? They've been able to get LPO financing so that we can actually get our work moving. That was, we've been able to get LPO financing. We've been able to get cash to cash facilities so that we can be able to get our business moving. And because we deal with farmers, it is very critical that we pay our farmers so that we can be able to get the product. if TrueWays, like, sorry, I didn't introduce what TrueWays is. TrueWays is a business, like I said, we have been in the beekeeping industry for a long time. We have a brand, honey, called TrueWays, and we have very many other products, which we are able to, which I'm going to quickly showcase. We have value-added products, and our motto really in TrueWays is to really work around the raw materials and actually see how much more value it can actually give the market. Why? Because of post-harvest losses. 2, you get a better price. 3, you're able to be longer on the shelf. And because of that, and that is the reason why we're able to get into the export market, incidentally through another ITC project, which is the FIGA project, which actually has taken a few of us out of the country, facilitated us to, showcase our products out in the Chinese market. And because of that, I was able to penetrate that market. We've started discussions, and we've taken our products 3 times out there. And until COVID happened, with the changes in travel and everything, I think we've been able to take a few of our products out there. So for me, I think the farming bit has been very interesting. As part of COVID, and when we had lockdowns in Kenya, and I was able to go back to the farm and look at it objectively. And because of that, I started pure organic farming. I know Margaret has worked with me this journey, and started growing fresh produce, garlic, chili, tomatoes, strawberries, onions, all organically. And organic farming is just not organic manure. We're talking about organic foliars. We're talking about using vermicompost. We're talking about the whole no-till strategy on climate smart agriculture. And I am happy to say in the last 2 months, after being on the ground for 1 whole year, I've been able to go to the next level and actually value add the products. I don't know whether you can see these are dried strawberries from the farm. We have these are dried chili, which we have been able to showcase.
Irene, put it up a little. Put it up a little.
Okay, I can't see myself. This is dried chili.
We're just salivating over here, but it's all right.
These are dried strawberries. And then we've gone further. These are dried onions. We've been able to actually do this and gone further, started going further to actually grind them. And sorry, the packaging is still work in progress and the branding. So these are dried onions. I have dried chili here. And then we have come up with a condiment of for your marination. This is dried onion, dried chili, paprika, and garlic. So these are some of the projects and products that we have come up with. Why? Because SBM has been handholding. If I ever need cash, I can quickly go to any bank and the expresses anytime and be able to get my money and be able to pay my farmers to actually get products. I wanted to showcase one of the products that we have that is in which the packaging that is going to China. You can actually see this. Margaret, can you see this?
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's very beautiful.
Yeah, this is the branding that is the product that is out there. It's a skincare line using beeswax, and the fact that we are able to get support from SBM Bank, this has been able to be showcased. You can see how beautiful it is. And I've also authored. You can see this book. This is really around the educational material. So all these are value-added products just by working with SBM and the support they have. We've gone with Margaret to the big programs, worked with them, and we have been able to showcase our products out there. So it's been an interesting journey working with SBM. I have seen the advantages of working with this bank. I'm going to be with you guys unless you change, Maggie. And thank you so much for working with growing businesses, because having a partner who's able to actually feel you talk to them. Like not too long ago, I made a proposal for one of these institutions, and within like half an hour, I was able to get a banking opinion, which was actually required because the proposal was within a very short time. And because of that, the fact that they listen and they are on call you can be able to get a lot of support. So thank you very much, Margaret. I think I don't know whether there are any questions.
All right, thank you so much, Irene. I think I'll hand it back to Liz so that if there are any questions, I can take them in because I know time has really run out. But it's always a pleasure. It's actually always a pleasure to serve you. At SBM Bank, we believe that all customers, whether you're the 50 billion customer or you know, somebody who just, I have many customers who started businesses, they were laid off. They were working just like us, and they were laid off. They started their own businesses. Whether you're a 2-day-old customer or, you know, for us, we don't discriminate. We believe every customer has their cycle. So you're welcome. For those ones who are asking about their to be added in the database. So how banking works is that when you open an account with us, obviously we, you know, you, like Irene gets all our communications, including today's session. You know, these are some of the benefits you get. So please feel free to join us. All our contacts are here. And feel free to join us. And even those ones who are, you know, in other countries, we are always open to sharing ideas with even people who are not in Kenya, because that's why we have a global village, thanks to the internet. So feel free to reach out to me personally, and let's keep learning. Like I shared with you guys, this, what we are doing in Kenya, we are also trying to replicate the same in Mauritius, India, Madagascar, and to make the world a better place, yeah? So over to you, Lizzie. Thank you so much for hosting us.
Thank you so much, Margaret and Irene. And I think your passion is just spreading, and I can see all the messages coming through. So just opening up for any Q&A for anyone. If you have any questions, please feel free to raise your hand. And in the meantime as well, I'm just going to release a quick poll. If you can help me answer the poll, I think you should be seeing it right now. We have a question. Can we know the requirement for opening an account with your bank, Margaret?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I think we are the most simplistic requirements we have. So for those ones who are in Kenya, in other markets, it will apply different rules. But in Kenya, very simple, your identification. For Liz, if you're to open an account with us, I would ask for your passport, you know. But for the ones in Kenya, it's Kenyan ID, the revenue, Kenya revenue. We have a PIN for paying taxes. And then the other one, of course, we would need at least to prove that you have a bank, you know, your utility bill. And of course, we'll ask you a few questions on your, what sector are you in? Are you employed? And then of course, you fill the form. There's a form to fill. And for the ones who are in the diaspora, I know I have a few people who are logged in from the diaspora. We usually facilitate you guys online. So you're able to do that online. We send you the forms, you ship them, you email them back, and we open the account, we send the details to you. So it's very, very simple, to be honest. And of course, we take your colored photo, you know, your passport size photo.
Thank you so much, Margaret. We also have some companies joining us from India, and they would like to know how to get in touch with the Indian representative from SBM Bank.
Awesome. Because of the interest of time, thank you so much. We would love to connect you with our Indian counterparts. If you can kindly email me right after this. I've shared my contacts here. I don't know if it's visible. I've shared my contacts here. If you can just email me, I will connect you directly. We even do have a correspondent person. She's called Doris and Daniel. They sit in our head office here in Kenya, but anything specific you need in India, we connect you. Yeah, so we would love to do that.
Thank you very much. I think we're running a little bit out of time, but I think this happens when the topic is so passionate for most of us,
yeah.
and that it usually happens, which is a good sign.
Yeah.
Maybe opening the room for a final question before we close the call. In case there is, please feel free to raise your hand. And while we wait for maybe receiving the last question, if we receive it, just want to thank you so much, Margaret, for all your work that you're doing and for giving us the time to share with us what you're doing and all the amazing projects that you have. Thanks so much as well, Irene, for sharing your testimonials and and sharing more about the new product lines that you've been sharing. I haven't received any other question, but I have shared again the contact details that you just shared. So everyone feel
Okay.
free to reach out to Margaret in case you have questions related to SBM Bank. With this, I will close it and I'll pass it over to Marguerite or Irene in case you have any final comment for the audience.
Irene, you can go first.
Thank you, Margaret. Not much. It's just that SBM has been an amazing bank to work with. Many challenges, of course. Sometimes we don't have some documents, but they're willing to work with us. And if you're open, and like she said a little earlier, if you're getting yourself into the business, you must have all your documents ready. So whatever it is that is not usually ready, they help you get them. But all in all, they're a bank that listens. That's for me. That's my take. Yeah. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much, Irene. Always a pleasure. For us, I remember Irene I don't know if I can say this, when she lost the late husband, we were there for her. So for us, we are a relationship bank. We believe that we are human. That's the reason we do not have robots in the bank as yet. So we are very relational with our customers. We know they are human. And even this pandemic, we are going through it together because even as a bank, we do not have all the solutions. That's the reason we need to engage with customers and listen. So it's very personal for us. And I think that's the DNA of the bank. And allow me to close with this remark that the best way to predict the future, it's actually not my quote, it's Abraham Lincoln, is to create it. You see, so when we listen to you customers, we don't have all the solutions. As much as we came from Mauritius, Kenya is different. The same way when you go to India, we do not apply the same solutions, it's different. So the best way to predict the future, ladies and gentlemen, is to just simply create it. Lobby, advocate for our women, even our youth. I'm also in charge of youth banking. There's also people who are differently abled. As a bank, we are actually reaching out and saying, no, enough is enough. These guys have been left out for so long. The last quote, and I promise is the last one, that it's not the strongest of the species. And this is to encourage many people. And Irene, I'm so proud of you. You have no idea. I think I'll write a book about it. You see, Irene left the city. She lives in the poshest part of Nairobi, very close to our head office. But she left her house. She packed her things and went to Boni. Liz, if you don't know Boni, it's in the village, in the deep village of, Northeastern. Eastern side of Kenya. She went there and guess what? Corona happened. Yeah, she probably was not the strongest. She had to leave her son here in Nairobi. And guess what? She started doing beekeeping. She wasn't doing beekeeping before. Now I've seen you've even packaged your stuff, right? You've repackaged your stuff for, so really this quote is my parting shot, that it's not the strongest of the species who survive, but it's not also the most intelligent who survive, but the most responsive to change. It's Charles Darwin was the person who quoted that, and I believe it. So ladies and gentlemen, and especially the ladies, because those are the ones I take care of, let's keep reinventing the wheel. Let's be open to change, and let's keep doing, because women, we are very creative, we are go-getters, and we can do this. And my last remark, Liz, to you and the SheTrades team, I do not know. I don't know. The DNA in you guys and our DNA is so aligned that we have the same purpose to impact women, access the global trades, and make the world a better place. So we are very grateful, and thanks for having this coffee. You guys, I think you can have your coffee after this. I had mine. Thank you so much, and have a lovely evening. And please reach out to me personally and on email, anything you guys need, any collaborations you want, and welcome. Asante.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this. Thank you so much for the presentation. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining, and keep joining these sessions with the coffee. Have a lovely evening, everyone.
All right.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao. Thank you. Bye-bye.